shall we start? Shall we start?
Yes, of course. Most
Sir,
welcome.
Sir, how do you organize yourself for day-to-day activities?
My God, it's a very difficult question. But at the same time, it is quite easy. I do not organize. I just make a list of priorities and start working on that. Say, for example, there are 5 or 6 works in a day which I have to perform. Then what I do is I have a diary, right? In this diary, I usually write things to do. What are the things to do? And I usually do the most important work in the first phase. And then by the end of the day, I used to end each and every work, whichever is assigned to me or whichever I note down in my diary. But I ensure it at the end of the day that no work is standing on my table from day-to-day activities. There are certain things which are to be done on the weekly basis, which are to be done on the fortnightly basis, which are to be done on the monthly basis, and which are to be done on the day-to-day basis. So accordingly, I make the priority list and I finish them all. Right?
How do you manage a sudden increase workload? How do you manage a sudden increase workload?
Sudden increase workload.
Yes, sir.
By staying some longer hours. That's the simple way. You know, whenever I have some extra work, then I give extra time to that. But I never believe in keeping the work pending. Say for example, if some work is still left after 5, then I will stay after 5 and I will try to complete the work on the same day. Otherwise, it will be keep on piling and piling and piling. So I do not believe in procrastination. I believe in doing the things at the same time on the same day. This is the way I do not have any work, and whenever I leave the office, I am free from the day-to-day activities.
So, what do you do when you have multiple priorities?
Very simple. What I told you that I make the priority list.
Yes.
So there was one book I think you must have read, Eat That Frog. So, and eat the ugly frog first. So if there are certain very difficult work, I try to do the difficult work first, then the smaller or easier works. So that makes me, quite light.
What kind of decisions are most difficult for you?
What kind of decisions are difficult for me?
Yes.
Which needs a lot of analysis. Right? There are certain things which need a lot of time where I have to collect the data and then where I have to make a lot of analysis, where I have to seek some advice from some experts, or the areas where I am not expert. Then there the expert advice is to be sought. Some brainstorming sessions are to be done. Then I did it with my seniors, with my colleagues and with my juniors also. And then the decisions are taken. That way no situation or no decision is difficult.
Sir, how do you organize and plan for major projects?
Major projects. Again, let me tell you very frankly, it's called time management. How do you manage your time?
Yes.
So everybody in this world has 24 hours. Nobody is having 48 hours. So you have to manage all the activities in those 24 hours, right? Sometimes what you do is you make the plan on the weekly basis. So if there are certain projects which need weeks time, there are certain projects. Say for example, if you have to open a new course or you have to open a new college, then it's an annual project. So you have to decide the timelines that in these 2 months you will get the NOC from the state government, in these 2 months you will go to AICT or UGC, and in 6 months you will be able to make the project report, you will submit it. So this is the way you always have to make the project lines, timelines, deadlines. So before that deadline, because if you are not fixing the deadline, it will keep on going delay and delay. So to avoid delay, you must put a deadline to a project, and in that timeline you should try to finish it. That is the way to do the bigger projects. Everybody does like that. You feel that this much of time is needed. Say for example, to start a course, you have to make the syllabi of that course. So for syllabi, you have to appoint some experts in that area. So everything can be done in a proper time.
Would you like to tell us what is the most difficult situation you have faced?
Most difficult situation. In my service, in my
Service,
job.
in my job or other?
So in my personal life, it was, when I lost my father and we were 7 brothers and sisters and mother and nobody was in the job. That was the most difficult time of my life. So, but because of the love and because of the unity in the family, we could manage that. As far as in my job, the most difficult time was in 2009 when we got the university status by the state government, but it was not signed by the governor. So it was a delay of 1 year in the establishment of the university. So that was the most difficult time. We spent a lot of amount, crores of rupees we spent, but we could not start the university. So that was the most difficult time. The most difficult time.
So please tell us about the task which you started but just could not seem to get finished.
Yes, it happened just last year only. We hired one company, MGRM, for the e-governance of the university. But unfortunately, that was so unfriendly, so difficult to implement that in the middle we have to break the contract with them. So that was the unfinished task or the most difficult task which I could not finish it. Though I was in charge of that e-governance project and there was a loss of lakhs of rupees. That was the most difficult. Or we have to leave it in between.
So would you like to tell us how do you manage your professional life with personal life?
Professional life, personal life, yes, work-life balance.
How to manage time?
Yes, it's not difficult. As I told you that everybody has 24 hours, so we have to manage. As I usually say that life is not a race. It's a race which we used to participate in the school life where, excuse me, where you have to run with a spoon in the mouth and in the spoon you have to have some marbles also. If the marbles fall down, there is no fun in winning the race. So health, relationship, family are the marbles. If they fall, then there is no fun in winning the race, or rather you do not win the race. So you have to keep that balance also. You have to take time out of your busy schedule for your family, for your wife, for your daughter, for your mother, father, everybody. And again, as I told you, that I usually divide my time on the weekly basis. So if I have 16 hours in a week for my family, sometimes on Saturday or on Sunday, I spend a lot of time with my daughter. Every day in the evening, I go for a long walk with my daughter. And during that walk, I usually ask what is happening in my school, how she is doing. I usually tell her a lot of stories. And similarly, we go for some movies or for some outing or for some shopping. So this is how we manage. So on weekly basis, I divide the time. So I do not forget to spend some time with my family.
Sir, would you like to tell us what you have achieved till now?
The greatest achievement of my life is that at the age of 30, I became the director of an institution. Usually people start their life or career at that stage. And so this is the 13th year of my directorship. So that was the greatest achievement. And I enjoy everything. I do not get tired by working hard, by working for 15 or 16 hours a day. I usually remain enthusiastic. I am a man of positive attitude. So I enjoy these are the achievements. Happiness I find happiness.
So lastly, sir, please tell me some tips for our student. It will help to achieve their goals through time management.
A lot of things I used to tell my students that as far as just giving some tips to you is that salvation is the ultimate aim of mankind, and synergy is the aim for an organization. So to get the salvation, you must try to gather as much knowledge as possible. Number one. Number two, you must love whatever you do, or you must do whatever you love. So whatever you are doing, love that, or love that whatever you are doing. So that way you will never feel tired, because when you do something which you love, you never feel tired. Right? That's the message I would like to give. Is it okay?
Yes.
Is it okay?